Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. The hadith of today is from Kitab al-Siyam, from the chapter of fasting. So in this chapter, there are many other subtitles, and they have brought many other hadiths. One of the title, the first title in Kitab al-Siyam is Fazlu Shahri Ramadan, and then the subtitle is وجوب صوم رمضان لرؤية الهلال وافطروا لرؤية الهلال فإن غم أول في أوله أو في آخره فتكميل العدة. Beginning the month of Ramadan with sighting of moon and ending of the month of Ramadan with sighting of a moon. And if it's concealed for cloud or any other reason, then completion of 30 days. This is the topic, and this is the subtitle of Imam Muslim mentioned in Sahih Muslim. And he brought many ahadith in this. One hadith, because mostly hadith, the wording is different, but the message is similar. The hadith is from Abu Hurairah radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. Anna Nabiyya sallallahu alayhi wasallam qala, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam says, Sumu li ru'yatihi, fast when you see it, when you see the moon. Waftiru li ru'yatihi, and stop fasting when you see the moon. Fa in ghummi alaykum, and if the actual position of the sighting is concealed for any reason, فَأَكْمِلُ الْعِدَّةِ, so complete the counting. So here, this is the base of the hadith of beginning of any month with moon sighting, including Ramadan. So this is the tradition from the time of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam till now, that moon sighting itself is the beginning of any month, when it starts the month and when it's completed the month. But for the moon sighting, there are few issue. One issue is ikhtilaf al-matali, and ikhtilaf matali means differences in sighting the area wise. The ulama in the fuqaha are divided, and they have a difference of opinion. Some ulama says that the moon of one place is enough for the whole world. And this is the stand of the majority of the Hanafi ulama. The majority of the Hanafi school of thought scholars, they says that if anyone sight the moon anywhere in the world, it is enough for all the people, those who find out that the moon has been sighted, they can follow it. For them, there is no difference of Africa, America, Asia, all these things, without any ikhtilaf. This is the stand of the majority of the Hanafi scholars. Some Hanafi scholars, like Allama Kasani, and they say if the distance is called bu'dul fahish, means the distance is so much that there is a difference of the day and night, then this distance is valid, then the people should have a difference. But if the distance is not very far, then as the other Hanafi ulama says, from east to west, the whole world is one wherever is seen. And the dalil of these ulama is this hadith itself and the Quranic verse, "Paman shahida minkum ash-shahra falyasum." Whoever get the month of Ramadan, he should fast. Sumu li ru'yatihi, whenever you see the moon, start. So the moon is only one. There are not 20, 30 moons. They say when anyone sight it, it applies to everyone. So they say there is no classification, and there is no area-wise guidance in the hadith. So that's why it is enough for east to west. Whoever see it, it is applies to all of them. Imam Shafi'i rahmatullah, he has a different opinion, and he says that area-wise should be dealt these issues. And when they say the area-wise should be dealt issue, they call it ikhtilaf matale. And then what will be the area which is regarded one area, one matla, and the other is another matla, then they again have a difference of opinion. Some ulama says the area means the distance of traveler. Whatever the distance of the traveler, jo safar musafat hai na, if someone in living in this area, then this is one matla. If living beyond this, it is another matla. But this is also minority scholars. And some says if the distance is not very far and very easy to approach to each other, and they give example in old days like Baghdad and Basra, which is not very far from each other, there are a few hundred miles distance. We can give example nowadays like London and Birmingham, London and Manchester. So they call this is one matla. And but if the distance is like London and Madrid, so for them it is not one matla. The third opinion in Shawafe is one country is one matla. See, it is more easy to administrate it, it is more easy to implement it, and it is more easy to deal with it. So the other Shawafi ulama says the matla means is one country, whether it is small or bigger, big, regardless of the size of the country, is very easy to administrate it and to spread the news and to deal with it. So now these are three differences of opinion after when you believe that the area is matter. But the majority of the Hanafi scholar, for them, area is not matter. If you get the news anywhere in the world, then you can carry on Ramadan and then you can carry on fasting. This is one issue. Ikhtilaf matali is a very detailed issue, and the ulama discussed it a lot. But nowadays, mostly the issue is settled in Islamic countries. They are going country to country, and it's more easy on administrative point of view to deal with it. And that's why they have their own moon sighting committee. Different countries have their own. So more or less, this issue is settled. The issue is the problem is for us, those who are living in non-Islamic countries, when they don't have any system. Wherever there is a system, it's very easy to handle all these issues. The reason the government, the authority, and the ulama and scholars sit together and they decide whether they go for this option, they go for this option, whatever is the option. Because hadith, they mention everything. Now, how to apply it for implementation, they decide one rule and they carry on and the public follows. In Europe, the biggest problem for us, there is no administrative power to us, and there is no administration dealing with all these issues, and we don't have any authority to handle all these things. That's why some are taking from here, some are taking from here. Some is taking the Shawafe one issue, some taking the Shawafe the other point, some taking the Shawafe third point, some is taking the Hanafi point, some is taking this point, some is taking that point. That's why it's a big case in our community. So you have to understand that all these difference of opinion in this moon sighting was exist before as well. All these things is not suddenly new thing happened. These were exist before, and they have this difference of opinion. But how they dealt with it, the countries, the authorities, and the ulama, one country decide one, the other decide other. For example, in this term, I can give you example. Like Egypt have their own formula, but as a country they deal it, and the whole country follows it. The Morocco has its own formula. The country deals with it, and they have a quwwat and nafiza. So the system is there, and the system guide the people, so there is no confusion. No one is allowed to start his own mosque, and he say, no, I am doing this, I am doing this. The system already control all these things. So though the Morocco formula is different than the Egyptian formula, the Egyptian formula is different than the Saudi formula, but within a country, they can handle it very easily. And that's why when the problems comes, their ulama says, follow your own country, don't follow us, so there will be less problem. So the one who lives in Egypt, he should not follow the formula of the Morocco. Then otherwise there will be case in their own country. You are living in Egypt, so follow your own ulama thoughts. If this is just like a timetable we make for the prayer, so you follow your own mosque timetable, don't go for otherwise there will be any confusion to you. So these issues were existing before, but they were handling with the authority, with the power, with the system. Unfortunately, why we are suffering in Europe, we don't have any authority, any system. That's why here is more case. So ikhtilaf matale, I said very briefly what is this issue. The difference in horizon and the difference in timing. So, and I think you understand basically that this is exists from very old days, and you should know the Hanafi school of thought, their stand is completely, mostly different than the Shawafi. The Hanafi school of thought is what? They say whenever is cited, for the whole world it is okay. The majority. There are some, those who have a difference of opinion, they are goes with Shawafi, but it's like Alama Kasani in some, but not majority. This is one thing. But the Shawafe, they goes for this different time zone and they take it in account. The other thing is the witnesses. It is another big issue. Those who are going for actual moon sighting, why they have a problem? For the actual moon sighting, like the Saudi criteria is different than the Egyptian, than the Pakistani criteria or the Moroccan criteria. In Saudi, their ulama says, if the moon is sighted by one person and he become as a witness, we will accept it. The reason, they say, there is a hadith in Tirmizi, and there the Arabi, the Baddu, he came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he said, Ya Rasul, I have sighted the moon. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, after testifying his witness, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam announced, tomorrow is the beginning of the month. Based on this hadith, the Saudi scholar says that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam accepted the witness of one person as a witness, and he took the shahada of one person and he started. So that's why if any one person, any single person comes to us and give a shahada, I have witnessed, we will start it. The Hanafi scholar have a difference of opinion. They say if there is a cloud on the sky or there is any reason where every person can't see, still for the Ramadan, at least one person should forward, but for other 11 months, including Eid, minimum two people should come and they say we have seen it. This is if the condition is not very good and it is very difficult for everyone to see. But the Hanafi scholar says, if the weather is okay, the sky is clean and everything is perfect, if one person come and two person come and say I have sighted the moon, it should not be taken in account. The reason, then the condition of the Hanafi, here is the problem. The Hanafi school of thought says that there should be Jamme Ghafir, a group of people should claim that we have sighted, not 1%, not 2%. The reason, the Hanafi scholar here is using the reasoning, and the other are going for the hadith. The reasoning, they are saying that the person who, one person is claiming I have sighted, the people are looking to the sky. Hundreds of thousand people are looking to the sky, or 1,000 people are looking to the sky. All other become blind. What's happened to all others? Those who are looking for the sighting, and they are always they are concerned, and they have tried. None of them have seen. Only 1% or 2% came and they say we have sorted. It means this one person made a mistake in sighting. He might have seen something else, and he might think something happened more. And they have a long discussion in this. In this dars, I'm not going for any detailed discussion. I just give you the hints that why the differences come. So the Hanafi scholar in a clean sky don't accept the witness of one or two or all. They say no, the Jamme Ghafir, the group of people should come forward and they testify that we have sighted, then we'll accept it. If the group of people come, we will not accept it. Rather than rejecting the two witness is more easy than regarding the whole city blind. So the whole city andhi ho gayi hai. They can't see anything and the only human see. You understand the Hanafi school of point? So that's why in Pakistan, if 1 or 2% comes to the alim in a cloud and say, I have sighted, and they don't accept it. They say, no, you have made a mistake, and then they ask cross question and then they reject it. But in Saudi Arabia, if one person come to the Qazi and he say, I say, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, I take the Shahada, I have seen the sign, they accept one. And whenever you ask them, why are you doing this? They say, we are not reasoning, we are following hadith. One person came to the Prophet, he witnessed, he accepted, that's enough for us. You go for all these reasoning, why the other is not cited, why is not come to us. But we say everything should be implemented with reasoning, you understand? But whatever is the point of view, but I explain it to you, what is the main issue for these countries, those who are going for actual moon sighting, still they have differences. Those who follow only the one hadith, if any single person come, don't cross question. Our argument with this, the Hanafi argument is this, that, and this is you have to listen carefully, the Saudi ulama's argument is very clear. Here is a hadith. This is Tirmizi, this is hadith, Prophet accepted. You want to challenge it? We say no, we don't challenge. But our argument is this, that whatever is the reason, it is another issue, but always the witness is not accepted. You have to do the cross question. And this is the rule all over the world in any court of justice. And when the Qazi is deciding moon sighting, he is a Qazi, he is a judge. So he has a right to have the cross question like in other issues. For example, and I was just making a joke with someone, we were discussing in Saudi Arabia. I say, here is your card and here is your key, and I will put it in my pocket because this is in my pocket, so this is my car, and I will bring two witnesses to you, this is my car. Your Qazi in Saudi will decide it that this is your car, not your. He said, no. They will ask the paper, they will ask this and that. I said, that means there is there is a cross questions. You understand? Because I have a key and I have two witnesses. This is my car. Would you accept it? And the other person says, listen, I'm paying the insurance for this. I have the paper of this. I have the proof of buying and purchasing and everything. How is your car? So only, I say, Mega, this will become a joke if you take out all the cross question. Someone is walking with his wife, so someone can claim this is my wife. These are the two witnesses. For God's sake, don't make the Islam joke. Just because two witnesses. You understand? There are always cross questions. And the other thing which we have to tell you, anything against the perfect reasoning and against the universal truth, even if the 20 people give you shahada, it is rejected. I give you the example, very easy to understand. If the 20 people get together in a broad day, 12 o'clock at day night, and they say there is no sun, the sun has set already, 12 o'clock, and you say, would you accept it? Because the 10 people are saying, 20 people saying, 30 people saying, 40 saying, 100 saying, 1,000 saying, let's say 100,000 saying, would you accept it? You will not accept it, because this is completely against the whole reasoning. So this is the issue where the Hanafi and the other ulama have a difference. That's why in actual moon sighting we have a problem. Area wise we have a problem. The third problem in moon sighting, which I have to say to you briefly, is whether the moon sighting, the hadith says sumu, it is the actual eye sighting which I mentioned last night, or the knowledge of sighting itself is acceptable. In old days, all the tradition told that the Prophet ﷺ was doing only with eyes, with actual moon sighting. And the words are very clear. But the ulama says that moon sighting is a way to find out the beginning of the month. If you find any other way through knowledge that the month has started, so this is exactly like you have sighted. So the knowledge of moon sighting is also exactly like you have cited. And you know the evidence they gives you. Why this? For example, they say there is a city consists of 60,000 people. Only 10-20 people have sighted the moon. The other people have not sighted. So shall every person insist that I will sight and start it, or they will accept the news? What is the practice? The practice is when some people sees it and they give us evidence, we all follow. So not every single person watch. And they say the other people, those who accepted the beginning of the month, is not based on their actual sighting, is based on the knowledge. Is based on the knowledge. From where you get this knowledge? The people who have cited it. So he said, then it means the knowledge, it is the real issue. If you have a knowledge that something is already happened and you are perfect and you are confirm about it, this is enough for it. So they say, if someone give you shahada, the moon has sighted, the same way or more strongest way, if someone tell you the new moon has started with a scientific evidence, then it should be equal. As saying of someone is perfect for you, so the scientific knowledge, the perfect knowledge, unchallengeable knowledge, if they told you now the moon is able to be sighted or the new circle is started, then you have to start it. And with the knowledge, when we come, then again there are two issues. And this is my last thing, you don't get confused. Some ulama says when the new circle is started, you should start the moon. The other says no. When the new moon start, the science tell you the new moon started. One. Secondly, the new moon is possible of visibility. Then you go for it. Here is two difference of opinion. Again, even those who follow the knowledge. And some says when it started, it started. The other say no, because the word is there in hadith. Then even you can't see it, at least the science said it is possible to be sighted. Then you go. I follow this one at the moment, and I have an open option with all these things. As I told you last night, for the unity in the community, if anything happen, we always are open. But I feel more feasible. That's why sometimes we have a difference with Saudi Arabia in the beginning, but not in the end. For example, I give you this month example. The Saudi when it started, the circle of the moon was completed according to science. But the Saudi but the beginning of Ramadan, there was no possibility of sighting of moon according to science anywhere in the world, all the way down to America. But further, there are some areas, they said. So then say, though the moon completed circle, the new moon started, but the visibility according to science is not possible. That's why don't start it. But the ending now, the science says both. the circle is completed, the new month is started, and the visibility is majority of the countries. In Africa it is possible, in the whole America is possible, in Canada and all these, they have given the list of the countries possible. So now we say even both conditions. It is just like you have cited and you told me I have cited. But now you are not telling me. The science is telling me that the moon has been completed and the moon is possible to be sighted, just like someone else seen it and I believe it. You told me the scientifically has seen it and they told me. For me, there is no difference. And this is going more according to the Sharia and according to the Sunnah of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. That's why sometimes we have a difference with others. Though I always believe in these countries, the actual sighting where it is difficult for some reason. If the actual moon sighting were possible in these countries, I would go for actual sighting. Would say a simple way. It started for the centuries. Just go. If you see it, do it. If you don't see it, go complete Thursday. But because of the condition, and I tell you, this is the point always bear in your mind as a first point before going to the moon sighting debate. The first point in Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, I always said the way they are doing it is okay, whatever way they follow, because it's in normal countries, is mostly possible to be seen. In Europe, it is called abnormal countries, scientifically, abnormal countries. In what abnormal countries? These countries, sighting of moon, it is very difficult for various scientific reasons. In summer and in winter, not only in summer, in winter. Some people say because the cloud is in winter. No, in summer, there are other scientific reasons. The moon will be 36 hours, 42 hours, and more than 42 hours, and you won't be able to see it. So, Europe being an abnormal country scientifically in these issues, here, if you go for the knowledge of the science, it is more appropriate rather than going for actual moon sighting, because actual moon sighting here is very, very difficult. If it's not impossible, it's very difficult according to the Sunnah of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. This is the first point when we go for all these things. If this was not the issue, we would say, okay, carry on the way the other countries are doing it. I hope I explain it very briefly, these various issues related to the moon sighting. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا يا مولانا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. اللهم لا تدع لنا ذنبا إلا غفرت ولا دينا إلا قضيت ولا هما إلا فرجت ولا حاجة من حوائج الدنيا هي لنا صلاة ولك رضا إلا قضيتها يا رب العالمين برحمتك